you can come onto hands and knees, or you can be on your knuckles and your knees, which can be more comfortable for the wrists. And you could also be, use the balls just yet, you can be on your elbows. But if you go on your elbows, you might find it can exacerbate heartburn. So maybe put some padding so you've got something to rest your elbows on. Actually, even more, I haven't got anything. A chair, you could use a chair, you know, so you're kind of kneeling up. Turn my back to you, sorry. Elbows on your chair. Or even the ball, actually. Oh, my ball's very dirty. I'm not sure quite what's happened to it there. So you can have your elbows resting on your ball. So if you're suffering from heartburn and you don't want to put your head too low, then I suggest you do that, or you do it every now and again if being like this on your all fours is uncomfortable. So you adjust. So this class, I always give loads of options. We're going to rock our hips from side to side. So again, please don't feel you've got to copy exactly everything that I'm doing. So most of the time I'm going to be showing you something, and then I'm going to be showing you a slightly different way of doing it, and then I'm going to show you a slightly different way of doing it again. And you probably only need to choose one of those ways of doing it, if you see what I mean. So everyone's able to find their optimum way of doing each practice. So I'm going to continue like this for the time being, just swaying the hips from side to side. In this leaning forward position, all fours, I imagine babies, the babies that are inside you, like they're lying in a little hammock. So if you could imagine your baby resting within you as if they were lying in a little hammock with their head towards your pelvis and their back against the inner wall of your belly. So if you can see them there with a little cocktail in their hands, having a lovely sway from side to side, it doesn't matter what position your baby's actually lying in, if you know, because you've been having scans, you just imagine them like that. They're just chilling out in their little hammock and you're swinging your hips from side to side and they're having a lovely time. Aww. So baby's in the hammock. And then you can start to make a circle. We're going to take the hips around in a circle. So if you imagine a dot between your knees and you're circling your pelvis around that dot, and I call this babies on the merry-go-round. Round and round we go on the merry-go-round. And I'm actually going quite fast, I've noticed. You might be going fast as well, or you might find you can do it a bit slower. And what's really nice is if you can do it with your breathing. So again, I'm going to stop talking and do some noisy breathing so you see what I mean. Yawning or halfway with the inhale, halfway with the exhale, and then shift direction, go back the other way, halfway with the inhale, halfway with the exhale. Oh. And I tend not to say repetitions in this class either. We just do as many as we feel like till we've had enough. And sometimes you feel like you only want to do 1 or 2 of each movement. And sometimes you might find a movement and you just think, oh, that's good, I want to do more. So you're in charge. So I'm just here to give ideas and you listen into what your body wants and needs. These can be little circles, or you can see now I'm making my circles quite a bit bigger. That feels good in my body, but bear in mind, I'm not pregnant at all. So if you're like 30+ weeks pregnant and got a bit more to carry there, your circles might be a little bit smaller. Okay, and coming back to the middle. So hips directly over the knees. Finally, we're going to get to cat pose. So this one, if you've been resting up on a ball, you can do cat pose from a ball. You might actually have to put your hands on the ball, and we're slightly rounding the back. And then lifting the chest, or with your hands on the floor, it looks like this, rounding the back, tucking the chin, dropping the tail, and then lifting the head, lifting the chest, maybe soften the elbows slightly, and lifting the tail. So it's a spinal movement. And once you've got the hang of the movement, see if you can coordinate that with your breathing in such a way that you breathe out and round your back. And we can turn this movement, cat pose, into what I call the scooping cat, or babies on the roller coaster now. So you round your back, tuck your chin, drop your tail, bring your hips a little back towards your heels, and then lift your head, soften your elbows, lift your tail, slide your breastbone forward so the front of your body's parallel to the floor. So again, obviously, if you have a large bump, you're not going to be able to get very close to the floor. This can be quite a small movement. The idea of the movement is to help free the spine, help free the pelvic joints. It doesn't have to be a big movement. That said, if you're earlier on in your pregnancy or postpartum now and you feel like you want a little bit more and you can slide your breastbone close to the floor, slide through, almost more like a cobra, there's options. There's a volume button. That's what I often say. You've got your own volume button. You can do the movement on quiet volume or loud volume. Babies in the roller coaster, then walk your hands in towards your knees and roll up to a kneeling up position. Let me turn so I can face forward. Fantastic.